Good morning. We're back here to discuss how to take an SVG file, a .svg file, which is a vector drawing, and import that into Fusion 360 so that we can use it and edit it and all those kind of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little pencil cup today, and we're going to use this panther head. This assignment will have more things added to it. It'll have the video added. It'll have some more instructions and things like that. But for now, we just really need to have this panther head. So we're going to use this one. I want everyone to use this. And if you click on it, it opens like this. And go up to the three dots and hit open a new window. And from here, we can download it. I think when you guys hit that download button on your computers, it's automatically going to send it to the downloads. It wants me to select, which I'll leave it at downloads, Panther 2, hit save, and we are good there. And then I'm going to get rid of that window, kind of get out of there for a second. And now I've got that downloaded. And so what we want to do now is open a Fusion drawing. And I've already got mine saved. So you can see here that I already have mine saved as Panther Head Pencil Cup Tutorial. So you can do the same on yours. I've got my origin turned on. And before I bring in that Panther Head, we're going to create a sketch first on the top. So that's the XY plane. And we're going to draw a ellipse. So go down here, and we want it coincident to the center. Okay, and so for our diameter, we're going to make it just 3 inches. Okay, and we want that totally horizontal. And then the opposite one, so the vertical one, right, we're going to have that be 2.25. And you can hit enter. Excuse me. And now I'm going to just drag my dimensions out of the way so I don't have to worry about those. And now we're going to go to Insert, SVG. And we got it from our computer where our desktop, or excuse me, our downloads are. So there's Panther 2 that we just downloaded. You guys should have as well. And so now I've got this Panther here. Okay? And what we're going to want to do is scale this thing a little bit. So we're gonna. I'm not going to ask you guys to be exact. This isn't a drawing where I'm going to be looking at the volume to make sure you have it right and things like that. When we brought in this SVG, what we want to do then, if I grab this square, I can move the whole thing around. And so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of move this in here. And then this little arc right here, what that does is it controls my scale. And so what we're going to try and do is get this panther head to fit in there. And when we use this panther head, we're only going to use the outside line, not all the inside stuff. That's a little too big still. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm also going to spin this a little bit so that from point to point it's as long as possible. You know, going from the nose here to this end of the neck kind of down here. I kind of want that on the horizontal axis so that it uses as much of the cup as possible. And I can make it a little bit bigger, kind of just tweaking it around. Actually, that's a little too big still. And that looks good right there. So get it yours something like that as well. And then we're going to hit OK over here. And now we got to do some editing on the inside of the panther. Remember, we only want this outside, where's it at? Right there, part of this. So if I just go in here and select that and get everything that's in blue, and then I hit delete on that, thought I would be able to get everything. Okay, we'll have to do it manually. That's okay. So we'll get the select tool, and I like to drag from right to left so that anything my square touches will get deleted. And so I'm just dragging these windows over it, and then I'm hitting delete on the keyboard, and getting rid of everything on the inside. If you go from left to right, it only deletes what's inside of your box, not what it touches. So left to right, it's only going to get this part that's inside my square, not what it's touching. Whereas if I go from right to left, anything that my box touches, it selects to delete. Oops, got too much. And we just want to get all this stuff out of the inside. Oh, I got to go back. I didn't know I deleted that. When was that? So I'm undoing. There it is. That's when I got too much. Nope. So I'll let you continue this. I'm going to pause the video and finish mine up. You can do the same. Alright, so I just finished mine up. So it should look like this. You're going to want to zoom in anywhere and just make sure you got no little straggler lines anywhere. And we should be good to go there. I think I got everything fixed. Alright, and so we're just left with that outline, which is what we want. And this is what we're going to use to kind of make our cup and the inside of our cup and all that. So we can hit Finish Sketch, go to this Home View, and we're going to do some extruding. We're going to get this surface and the inside surface, and then we're going to make a base that's solid. And we're going to go down 1/8 of an inch, so that's negative 0.125. And then I need to wake that sketch back up so that I can see it. And we're going to extrude more. And now we're not going to select the panther. And we're going to take it up. We want our total height to be 4 inches. And so that would be 3.875 going up. And we're joining those two things together. And there's kind of the, I can hide that sketch again. There's the basics of our cup. We're going to add a couple things to this. So let's add some fillets. Let's go around here first. And I don't think we'll be able to get 1/8 of an inch. That looks okay. So we got 1/8 of an inch there. And that's good. Then we're going to do another fillet on the bottom. And let's have that also be 1/8 of an inch. So I could have selected both. I messed up on that. But we'll do 1/8 of an inch fillet down there. And there's our cup for now. And your pencils can go in there if we did that. Kind of a Bertrand Panther. Mr. Brickmeyer's going to love this. A Bertrand Panther pencil cup. Alright, so now we want to make our text on the front. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a plane that's in front of this cup. We could do it from the inside, but I think it just gets a little bit too congested for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to construct an offset plane parallel to the front plane. And now it doesn't have to be any particular dimension. We just want it out in front of our cup. So I just have it out somewhere there in front, 2 inches if you want to be exact. Then hit OK. And then I'm going to right click on that and create a sketch on that plane, which is now in front of my cup. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to create some paths to then add our text to. So let's do an arc first. And again, this is right up Mr. Brickmeyer's alley. What we're going to do is we're going to start that path, that arc, somewhere over here. So I'm a little bit above the 2-inch mark on there, but just anywhere up here if you want. Okay. And we won't go with a totally crazy arc. We'll just do a little arc like that. Okay, and now we're going to create a spline. And we're going to do something over here. We'll have one more spot in the middle and one more spot on the end, and then we'll hit check. And that's just flat now. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of mess with this curve, and you can do the same thing. And so we want to get our select tool. And we're going to take this and raise it up a little bit. Make kind of a wave there. And I might just leave it just like that, actually. I kind of like that, just a nice little wave going across. Maybe I'll take this one a little higher. Alright, and you can make yours look something like that. So we have a normal arc, and then we have this spline. You can adjust it however you want, put as many points in it when you go to use this on your own. But for today's, let's keep it something like this, okay? And now we're going to go up here to create, and we're going to hit create text. And I don't want just the text, I want the text on path. Alright, it says which path do you want? Let's do this one first, so that arc. Okay, and of course, and make Mr. Brickmeyer happy, right? What's everything he say all the time? One school, one family, right? So I'm going to make mine all caps, one school. I'm going to pick a font here. I kind of want something nice and bold. I liked that Big Ten one. I might come back to that. When you're 3D printing, you're going to want to avoid the super fine things. You know what I mean? Like, if it makes a really sharp point, you might lose some of that. And so I want something that's nice and easy to read. And let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. Franklin Gothic Heavy. Okay, so we're going to do Franklin Gothic Heavy. We've got our path selected. We wrote our text. And now let's look at some of this other stuff. I like it on top of the line. And I want to fit it to my whole arc. So I went fit to path. I like the way that it's looking. I don't need to do any of this kind of stuff to flip it at all. I'm good with it this way. The height of it is, what do I want to do? Do I want to go a little bigger? Let's see if we can get to 0.5. What's that do? When I was playing around with this earlier, I learned that if you get your text like touching each other, it then won't like, it won't, what do I want to say? It won't snap together the right way that you want it to. Looking at it now, it's a little big, a little overpowering. So let's go 0.4. Okay, then we'll hit OK on that. And now we're going to repeat this. Oh, I guess I should say, so we're going to emboss this. That's the word I was just looking for earlier. Is when it goes to emboss, if the letters are overlapping at all, touching, it won't emboss properly. And of course, finish this. And we always know he gets pretty excited when he says it, so we'll add some exclamation points here. And we're going to leave it at 0.4, all this, but you can see that it's overlapping. So I've got some issues. But what I can do is I can just take this spline and adjust it. And I think now I've got everything separated. And it's okay if it overlaps past the edge. It'll wrap on there the way we want. And so then let's hit Finish Sketch. And get to a view like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create an emboss. So what I like to do first is I want to, you have to have your sketch showing. So if this wasn't showing, if it was a solid and you had already like extruded it, you still have to have your sketch going because that's what it wants to know we're embossing. So I've got my sketch profile selected, and I'm going to do this one and this one together. And it says, well, what faces do you want to emboss them on? And I want to emboss them on my pencil cup. And you can see that it then puts it on there, and it looks, you know, pretty cool already. The only thing is I don't think I need it to be quite that thick. And so let's go over here to my depth and go 0.05. Let's see what that looks like. That might be a little too much still. Let's go 4. And I think that's pretty good. You could go a little bit less if you want. We don't have to mess with any of this. And so right there, we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to, it takes a second. It's a lot of geometry. And then we're going to go over here and let's hide our origin now. And you can see now that I've created this kind of pencil cup doing a couple different things. We use that SVG file. We use 2 different paths for our text to emboss it on there. And then what I want you guys to do is give me, how about a view something like this? You could do it dead on if you wanted to. How about that, right in the front? So we'll get a view like that. And then that's what we're going to turn in. You don't need properties showing for this tutorial, just this one like this, okay? So this is your screenshot. Turn this in for this assignment, and we will be good to go. All right, thank you.